So as we're watching Dr. Phil and getting an insight on Summer Wells, we're paying close attention to every piece of words that are coming out of their mouth. We're paying attention to their body language. We're paying attention to every little detail. We're going back. We're fast forwarding forward. We're rewinding back. And so go ahead and shoot that. So Don Wells on here says the first thing he thought of when he realized his daughter was missing is that she was abducted. That was his very first thought. My question is with that, all that greenery, all that trees, all that whole vast land, your first inclination would be that she was abducted? Not that she was lost, not that she went out and played and fell asleep somewhere, in a tree, something. Your first thought was she was abducted. And he says that multiple times, that's his first thought, is that she was abducted. My question is that would have been my first thought, first and foremost. Secondly, why would that have been his first thought? Was he threatened by somebody that he owed maybe money to, that if he didn't pony up, something would happen to his family? If he didn't owe any money, why would that be his first thought? The wife, Candace, has failed and actually got up out of the interrogation with the human lie detectors, the two gentlemen that were there, reading body language and everything else like that, which was a little suspicious because, you're here to try to find answers for your daughter. And especially if you think she was abducted, your first thing would be, selflessness. You're not worried about yourself. You throw everything on the table to save your child. And somebody asks the tough question and you break down and get up and don't want to talk about it and take your microphone off. This is not conduct of people that had nothing to do or don't know anything. Secondly, it was apparent that Don Wells may have been at work during the time. So why is the wife half, Candace, so upset about stuff? To me, just this little bit I've previewed thus far, I believe she knows a hell of a lot more than she's saying she knows. I think Don now knows that she may have been involved, and that's why he's having some body language, eye blinking pattern issues. But if he was not there at the time she disappeared, I think the mom knows exactly what happened to Summer Wells.
Summer Wells went missing on June 15th, 2021. She disappeared from her home at 110 Ben Hill Road in Hawkins County. On her 2-year milestone, we placed this banner on the side of the road. Since she went missing, she hasn't been heard or seen from again. While I was visiting the area, I saw Don Wells working on his truck and asked him if he'd come down and speak to me, which he did. Don Wells and I had a conversation about his daughter Summer Wells and information related to her disappearance. Don Wells maintains that somebody came on the property and took his daughter away. He still believes after all this time she has been abducted. His family came under heavy scrutiny, but they've maintained their innocence. One thing Don Wells told me is that they have anybody that could have been responsible or is responsible for the disappearance of his daughter Summer Wells. Many people across this country want to know what happened to Summer Wells. Where is Summer? If you have any information related to the disappearance of Summer Wells, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
this morning. We went over our time this morning, but we had so much more to go over. We never quite got through the interview with Candace, the first interview Candace and Don gave. It was a little suspect. And we're just reminding people, we want to, well, looky there. I am starstruck. Well, how are you doing, my love? I was actually just talking about you the other day. Your ears must have been ringing. All good stuff, of course, all good stuff. But was talking about you behind your back. I surely was. So I hope you are doing amazing. It's nice to see you in this house. Oh, you don't know who Ricky Beavers is? Mike, I thought you've been with me from the beginning. This is my guy. Ricky Beavers is my guy. You know, he's very talented. He's a musician. He likes a lot of he did, what did you do on I think he did veteran on he did a live show here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. He sang for us live. Well, it's nice to see you. I will have to go find that. I can't remember. I know it was around December. I remember we were going to try to do something for veterans, and he tried so hard to get us all together, and it was hard. He wanted to do something special for the veterans, and it was hard to get it all together, but we were able to hear a beautiful song, and it was amazing. So, and I heard you are doing amazing on a lot of different platforms. So congratulations. I hope you heard from the man. I don't know if you did or not. All I can do is pass it on. But I love Make America Great Again. As you can imagine, right? So, Added Twins, thank you. Oh, it's so nice. If you received your gifted Bullhorn Betty's Crime Stories membership, please tell the Edit Twins. Is there really two of you? I'm just curious because I don't want to be calling the Edit Twins when I've only got one Edit Twin. I like to be factual on here. We got the exact police, okay? I say, what happened to my button? My button don't want to work. Hopefully you guys heard that. I was having audio problems earlier today and didn't even know it. So thank you so much, Edit Twins. I hope you guys are doing good. Yeah, we're back on. It's just because I had to cut you guys short. We would have just kept rolling this morning, but I had an appointment. I had guys coming here to help me clean up the backyard. God bless them. God bless them. God bless them. God bless them. That's all I got to say is God bless them. And I just want to bless them again. I really do. They're three older guys. Just God bless them. That's all I got to say. And they came over here and they're helping me with my backyard, and they just been just the sweetest people. And so I wanted to make sure that I was out, that I'm doing. It's not like I'm doing something for one of my friends. I won't tell you much, but what I will tell you, I'll play you a little bit. I'm not going to show you because it's not mine to show, but I will let you guys hear it. How about that? I'll let you guys hear some of it.
Well, it's around 7 o'clock this morning here in Tahoe. Not too bad out compared to Florida, I understand, but it's going to be a great day at the Earth ship.
I wish you guys could see it. So a friend came to me, needs some help with a little something. Actually, I offered it after they offered to help me. So it was just a very just nice. So I guess what? I'm hoping that when I come back from our tour that we're about to do, going to Alec Murdaugh, we're going to go over to Layla Santinello. I'm bouncing back and forth whether to go to Crystal Rogers just yet. I know we want Crystal Rogers. We want authentic content here. And we want to, because we've been following the case for some time. And we got a family member here that's a loyal member of the Bullhorn Betty channel. For whatever reason, I thought it was Irene, but then I found out it was Old Lady O. And I don't know how I mixed them two up. I really don't. So I'm so sorry, Irene and Old Lady O. I got you mixed up. But we have a family member of Crystal's here. And, I'm thinking this is when we have a family member in the chat, right? Because we're family and it's a family member of theirs, then we're going to put a little more attention to that particular case. That's kind of how we found Layla Santinello too. If you think about it, it was one of our members here on this channel that brought this case to us that has been our contact person's contact person. That same person is the one that reached out to me. So, we are picking up cases that people are bringing directly to this channel, and we are advocating for them and getting them a whole host of attention. Layla Santinello is a great example of it. It was a no-name case. Nobody would even touch. Nobody would even give this case one iota of attention. One iota, not one iota. And we were able to get in there. We were able to take this case. We were able to make it go viral. Okay. We were able to take a no-name case and make it go viral. And because of that, Layla Santinello has a name. People know who she is. And we're very thankful for that. Summer Wells, we didn't really have to do that with. Summer Wells was already getting wild recognition. I mean, people were reaching out to our team in droves, literally droves. Every single day, we were having messages. You need to look into the Summer Wells case. You need to look into the Summer Wells case. You need to look into the Summer Wells case. And so we did. We looked into the Summer Wells case. And, at this time, they had just walked off the stage of Dr. Phil. And that was the original video that became, the intro video into this particular segment was Summer Wells. That was the very first time we videotaped for Summer Wells. Was our first initial assessment of the case. And that is it. And that's what I've captured. So now you guys got the first video, and the second video was the most recent video that we just recently captured. So you had the very first video ever captured by me and the last video ever captured by me that we just introed in on this. Guess what? This is the sad part about it. The information is exactly the same. We've learned a little bit more than we once did, like the fact that Don Wells was home at the time his daughter went missing. And it really upsets me that he has lied so much about that. And because of that, it makes me wonder why. Why did he not want law enforcement knowing he was at home when she went missing? Why after all this time has he stated that he did not take his boys with him to work? Why do they keep peddling the same information that we have corroborated to be untrue? And again, I asked him about that. I asked him belly to belly, face to face, eyeball to eyeball, and he never gave me an answer. He tried to tell me the boys were not there with him. And I said, Don, I've got your guys. And not just your guys. I explained who it was. I can't remember his name. I always forget his name. But it was the main guy, the guy that he worked for, the head guy, the politician, the one that was running for office, Tucker, whatever his name is, Tucker Drywall, right? It was his son. I didn't realize at that time, but it was Tucker's son that was telling me this information because Tucker's son works on these job sites. So you're not talking about just some run-of-the-mill person. Not only was it Tucker's son that told me, I can't remember his name. But also those two people that were screaming to the top of their lungs when we first got there that ended up getting settled down and talking to us. Those I think we even got those on recording once they realized what was going on because they didn't want to believe it either. They were thinking Don Wells was getting picked on. I can tell you their tune changed very quickly after we started talking to them. I mean, it was heated at first, but then everybody kind of chilled their heels, and we were all there talking. And so we were able to really kind of hone in on a few detailed information. And I got to tell you this, the brother and the sister did not want to believe Don Wells had done this. And I don't know whether we swayed them that day or not, but I do know we got a lot of valuable information from them because they've been seeing him for a really long time. And they know his comings and goings. So it was a lot of information, and those may have been one of the 7 alibis that Don Wells was relying on. So we've already killed 4 of his 7 alibis. Just saying, Don, we're knocking him out of the park here. You might want to, fill some of that cheese, that Swiss cheese you got, fill it up. So anyways, we were on the interview, the very first interview they gave, how weird that they were being, You know, Candace Bly was obviously, they both look like they were under the influence of substances. They've got a missing child and they can't stop putting garbage in their bodies, and they still have it. And even when you finally think they're finally over it, that they've lost enough, that they hit enough rock bottom, that they're going to change their ways, we find out once again they're out getting drunk and arguing. It's just getting, I'm so sick of this broken record. You guys have a missing daughter and three boys that are not living with you. At what point are you going to start getting your shit together? I'm just asking for a few hundred friends because we are so sick and tired of watching this. I have to be honest with you. I am so sick and tired of everything being about Dawn Wells and Candace Bly. So much so, it's like, where does Summer fit into this? When are people going to start talking about Summer again? We know the parents are full of crap. When are we going to quit making it about them and quit, propping them up on our channels and dragging them across and having interviews with them? Like, I'm just really, concerned about it. Hey, T-Pack, it's nice to see you. What did you send sexy pictures to Don? No. If you know anything about me, I can promise you this is one thing. There's a lot of things. Bullhorn Betty is famous for a lot of things. Okay, I've been pictured in a lot of different places, doing a lot of different things, and a lot of funny outfits. But the one thing I can guarantee that will never be on any type of social media is any kind of sexy pictures of Bullhorn Betty. If you know anything about me, I am very much a prude. Okay. Very, very, very much a prude. And I'm proud to be a prude. Okay. I'm proud to be a prude. I think this world's missing a few. I'm just saying. Right. So I ain't in with all the new type of crap. I'm not a desperate woman. Okay. I don't need to go do all that. To be honest with you. And if I offend somebody by saying that, I hope I do, because I want you to stop doing that garbage. Your body is about to be trampled across this entire internet for everybody to see if you keep doing the nonsense that you're doing. And I'm talking to every man and woman out there that like to send those D pics and those T pics, right? Just knock it off. I can tell you, we do not support nudity on this channel. All right? If you want to we don't judge. Okay. If you want to have a fans only page, you're more than welcome to. Who am I to judge? You do you, right? You do you. But I ain't advertising your fans only page. I'm just saying. No, I do not send any type of deep picture. I'm not sexy. It's much different for women are much different than men. Men, they don't care. You want to send them, you want to have a flabby flabby tabby party. They don't care. They'll look at any size, any shape. They don't care, right? A female, it doesn't matter how good it looks. I'm sorry, just don't send it to us. We do not want to see it, okay? I don't know about you. I ain't trying to see all that, okay? I ain't trying to see all that. Mm-mm. And ain't nobody trying to see all this, okay? I'm older than dirt, okay? I'm past 40, all right? Things are kind of hanging where they shouldn't be hanging. You feel me? No. I'm just joking. All those women over 40 know what I'm talking about. They're like, yeah, you can sit there and say that, Bullhorn Betty. We know better. We know the laws of gravity. All right, I'm gonna stop. All right, let's get on to Candace. Let's get back to our video. I almost want to start it over again to bring us back, but then I think it's kind of redundant. We don't need to spend five minutes, going back. If we need to, Vermont girl, gravity is real. Oh my goodness. All the guys are turning red. They're like, this is not the chat for me today. What does it say? I'm flying down to Florida to redo Make America Great Again. Excited about that. I'm leaving February 2nd. All right, if you're coming down here, Ricky, if you're coming to Florida, I want to meet you. You're going to have to tell me where you're going to be. I want to come and give you a hug. I want to come get a picture with you. If you're coming to Florida, even if it's just for, I'm more flexible. I can get around. It's going to be a little tricky, and this might actually make me wait to do Crystal Rogers on the 8th, because that's what I wanted to do. That's what I was talking about, Crystal Rogers. I may not go there this trip while I'm next to Tennessee, because on February 8th, Brooks Houck is going to court. And so I'm thinking, Brooks Houck, it would. Are you kidding me? Fan meetup? I'm like a major Ricky Beaver fan. I won't lie. I won't lie. And whenever Ricky's around, I'm starstruck. I have to be honest with you. I know I joke about that often, but I'm serious. He is a very, very talented person. He's a very talented person, and a great heart. What an amazing heart. So if you come to Florida and you've got my phone number. You know what? Let me put you on. I've been getting away from phone calls and everything. I'm trying to get better, but I just went into a place for a while I was getting through this court stuff. But I got you on the list. As soon as I'm wrapped up here, I'd like to call you and see where you're going to be. If I can be down there, just to meet you, I'd love to. Even if you're doing some recording, I'd love to see you do your thing. I don't bother nobody. Trust me. I know how to be seen, not heard. I'll leave the bullhorn at home. I promise. Well, I might bring the bedazzle. I know you're blind, but just in case you're deaf too, okay? Just in case you're deaf too, I might need the bullhorn, okay? All right. We're getting on with it. We're back here. There she is. Boo. I don't have my boo button on, but I do have this one. About the same. So Candace and Dawn, in my opinion, in this interview, are heavily intoxicated. I know they don't look it. Their eyes are not glassy. It's the way they're doing, but the way she's blinking, I can tell without a doubt she's either coming down from something or she's on something, period. It is what it is. I've said that from the minute I watched this. I have not deterred from that. Every time I watch it, I still get the same vibe. And like I said, I'm a vibe person.
Baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was.
Isn't that hard? You're sitting here watching this. I don't know. When I got back onto this segment here, I accidentally hit a button, and so it started at the beginning, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to start it over from the beginning. So I moved it forward, and it stopped right there, and it started right there. And so I have to think that this is almost divine intervention. I really do. I have to think that this is almost like divine intervention, because did you hear how she stuttered? Nobody would treat my baby. I won't allow it. It's like, you remember Liar, Liar, where no matter how hard he tried to get that lie out of his mouth, it didn't want to come out. It didn't want to come out. She was like, finally it falls out. And I just, I don't understand how it's so hard, because you didn't protect her. You didn't. Let's go back. Let's listen to it. Let's listen to her choke on her own words as she's talking about her daughter.
And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around.
Yeah. Okay.
Ever.
Okay, Cupcake.
She loves to.
You were around.
She loves to dance.
I mean, I just want to. I don't know if she doesn't remember that or not, but she was around. Okay, she was right there. She was right there at the house when all of this stuff supposedly happened. And furthermore, here's the kicker. Do you remember that dog trail that everybody's like, oh, they probably went down the dog trail. They went down the dog trail. Do you know where that dog trail is, by the way, that they say the dogs went down? Any clue? Before I let you guys know exactly where that dog trail is, let me ask you this question. Do you guys think, by a show of ones and twos in the chat, do you think Grandis looks a little mean? Do you think she looks like she can handle her own? Do you think if somebody is monkey effing around, she ain't going to put her foot down? If you think that she's just if you think she's pretty rough around the edges, yeah, Pebbles 1. If you think she's a sweet, dear old grandma, put a 2. If she's Aunt Millie, let me know. If she's Aunt Millie, let me know. I'm interested. I'm interested in knowing whether she's an Aunt Millie. Do you think that woman can handle herself, or do you think she's just yeah, that's what I thought. The lady looks like if she looks like Mike Tyson next to Don Wells. Definitely not a 2. That dog trail is right near her camper. Oh, they forgot to tell you that. Oh, interesting. So now we have the dog trail. Okay, so let's entertain this. I'm not gonna. I hate entertaining this, but you know what? The masses are keep talking about these damn dog trails. Let's talk about the dog trails, shall we? So most of you guys believe that this lady named Grandis, which happens to be the grandma of Summer Wells, looks like she can take care of herself. She looks like a dude. And we'll get to her in a second. Not that she is, and I'm not being disrespectful. She cuts her hair really short. Everybody likes to shave their head in this family or carry short hair. But she can take care of herself. I can guarantee you that lady can take care of herself. Now you tell me what football star Grandis is allowing her granddaughter not only to be snatched from a house, from inside of a basement, from a stranger that didn't even know that child was in the basement, managed to get past 3 young boys in a Houdini move to get down in the basement to snatch a little girl to run down a dog trail. Okay? Around the corner, through the woods, and past Grandma's house he goes. That's correct. In order for them to get that dog trail, they would have to go right by Grandis's trailer door. So now, can somebody explain how a guy scaled a flipping mountain, grabbed a child that was in a basement that had just gotten home, so it wasn't like this was a planned situation. Nobody knew where these people were going to be at any given time because it wasn't a planned day. But somehow or another, some stranger had EP or ESP, was able to scale the mountain, Houdini on into the house, crawl down the dungeon stairs, get to a child playing on the floor, get back up those stairs because the door was locked, Houdini past 3 little boys, go past Candace, walk past Grandis's trailer door, down the dog trail, through the moat, back up, and to whatever car is waiting. Now, that sounds like a mouthful to me. And if anybody out there in the streets of YouTube or otherwise think that that's a possibility, please draw me your or create a 3D image and explain to me how it's done, because I just can't get it. I just don't know. I can't figure it out. But then after this child disappears, Don Wells decides to lie to law enforcement and say he was not at home. He was at work. And how he drove 100 miles an hour to get home, and he was able to cut his drive time down from 45 minutes to a mere 20 minutes. He was on the phone the whole time with law enforcement trying to get to his house. So my question is, why would he leave the house? And then why would he appear to come back as if he was at work? Why the charade? Why the charade? This interview is not going to tell us, but this interview is telling. Just saying.
She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl," and she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl until my arm got tired. You know, but
oh, and for the people that are just coming in, that twirling's off the heels of how he was just telling everybody how she was a tomboy and she wanted to shave her head, but somehow loves beautiful women that are professional, and loves Elsa or whatever the Frozen characters are with the long locks while she's a shaved head little girl. Doesn't sound like she really wanted to have her head shaved. Just saying.
And I put out there that one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, well, I'm sorry about that. It's just.
She also liked the song by New Breed.
She also liked the song by New Breed.
My House. She sung that a lot of times when I play it on the TV.
These are parents that have already already know their child's gone.
She liked to think of herself.
She liked
as a princess, and and all that, like all young girls do. And
she loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa, and
I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there. And I think you can't explain what that love is, but you feel it and you know it.
Candace is so messed up right
here. She felt that there, and she loved everybody in that church, or she loves everybody in that church. I should rephrase that because they'll tear that apart as past tense, and I apologize again for that.
He's I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for thinking of my daughter in the past tense. I'm so sorry that everybody around this world has a problem with me referring to my daughter. Now, mind you, he still hasn't stopped. This was literally, what was it, the 18th or 19th of June 2021? So literally since day one this child disappeared, they have been referring to her in past tense, and they have not stopped. They have never stopped referring to her in past tense, guys. And I hate to tell you, I don't know any, you know what, when I talk to, there's so many parents I talk to. There's so many parents I talk to that have missing children, adult missing children, young missing children. And you know what? The ones that have nothing to do with their children, and I shouldn't even say that. I should say the ones that really truly believe their child is alive and out there somewhere, they do not refer to their children in past tense. I can promise you my entire conversation with Brandy was never once did it ever even occur to her to use past tense when it came to her son. Never once occurred to her. And you're having to try to change their language because they have already got it in their head. Their child is gone. Why? We're only at day 3 at this moment. They have never once changed using past tense when it came to Summer Wells. And still to this day, they refer to her in past tense. Now, had they just started referring to her, or had they referred to her later in past tense, I could understand that, because sometimes even parents, come to realization. And at that point, they refer to their children in past tense because they've accepted the fact that their child is gone. Much different. Much, much different. That's not what we got from these folks here. We got right out the gate past tense. We got right out the gate them saying what they think is going on with Summer, and not one time have they ever showed any type of emotion. They have never been really upset except to be angry at somebody else because somebody else doesn't believe them. Well, then give us something to believe. Give us something to believe. Oh, thank you, Ricky. God bless you. God bless you. Do you want to call in or come up here or get on the chat? I miss you, my friend. I haven't talked to you. I think it's been literally 9 or 10 months. Like, I am literally starstruck right now. Like, I miss you. I miss our conversations. I've gotten so busy. I've had nonsense you wouldn't even imagine. Nonsense you wouldn't even imagine. But I love seeing I've been putting the phones up. I hope you call in. But if you want to come up here and say hi to me face to face, I know you can't see me, but I'm still as beautiful as I once was. I'm blind now. Oh, Ricky, you missed it. You missed me waking up blind. Everybody here on my channel, everybody in my chat got to go from Bullhorn Betty. You know what it was? It was Dolly teasing me. Dolly's trying to stick up for Bullhorn Betty. I got to be honest with you, but Dolly was trying to stick up for Bullhorn Betty. That's the first time I've ever tried that. I couldn't believe I did. Yeah, but listen to this. Dolly he was trying to stick up for me, and I can't remember what he said. And I remember like he. I can't even say this with a straight face. It pissed me off, Dolly. I'm just going to tell you like that, okay? You pissed Bullhorn Betty off, all right? He was trying to stick up for me. This was months ago, and he's like, you guys just don't know, Betty's actually pretty cool, I understand she always has that scowl on her face. I'm like, I don't have a scowl. And I had a scowl. I had a scowl for I don't know how long. I really don't. You know why I had the scowl? Because I was trying to see. I am freaking blind. I did not know it. I have been squinting my eyes for so long that I didn't even realize how blind I was until I got glasses. And I hate glasses because now, do you guys understand how frustrating it is? I'm not used to wearing glasses. I'm used to having a scowl on my face, right? And so now when I wake up and I can't freaking see, I got to grab glasses. Did I show you my problem I had the other day? I picked up a whole handful of glasses. You know why? Because that's what I used to do with my lighters. One thing I can't stand, I'm a very impatient woman, right? I'm impatient. I'm not going to lie. I know who I am. I'm an impatient woman. I got to work on it. Okay? I got to work on it. I'm so impatient that I'd rather have 50 million pairs of glasses laying literally all over my house because when I need my glasses, they better be there. And I'm a slob and I pick things up and put them where they don't belong. So I figured if I just throw crap all over the house, right? No matter what room I'm in, I'll have a pair of glasses to pick up and put on my face to read. Does anybody else do that? But I was the same way with my lighters. Like I had to have a lighter in the purse, I had to have 2 or 3 lighters in the car, had to have a lighter in this room, I had to have a lighter in the bathroom, I had to have a lighter because when I need my lighter or I'm having a nicotine fit, that lighter better be there. Those little machines that shoot out money. I need one for lighters. That means we can go on a blind date, LOL, since we can't see. Oh, I love it. Hey, you're coming to Florida, man. I'm game. Okay. I just don't put it out on the first date. I'm just joking. I would actually love to see you, though. I really would. I would love to see you. It's been a while since we've talked. We haven't even strategized. I mean, we got 2024 elections coming up. So yeah, I'd like to talk. I'd like to chat. I'd like to see you. I'd like to see you, my friend. And if you're coming to Florida, that's the closest you've been to me in a really long time. So I'd like to find a way to catch up with you. That's all I'm saying. All right. I'm going to turn the phones on here in just a second. I hope you stick around. If not, you're on the list and I will. And if you don't call me, I'm calling you when we get off this live. But I would like you to come up here. But you're going to have to wait. I'll try not to talk too much. I need to stop. Okay, let's get on with this.
I hope she gets to come home, and I hope she gets to be with our church family again.
Our best friend in that church was Robin. She loved her to death.
Yeah, she looked up to women that were.
She come to that church, she went looking for Robin. That was her favorite person.
Any woman that
awesome
was professional, that
was pretty, beautiful.
She looked up to those kind of women. She, they were the word I'm looking for. I can't think of it, but she looked up to them. She'd give them a run for their money every day. She'd give them a run for their money, and there was times, we'd be, at our boys like, don't do this and don't do that. And next thing you know, the stick would come up and just whop them, and it'd be like, Summer, don't do that.
Summer was the boss of the family.
She typical girl.
When they get out of line, she'd put them in line.
She'd do her best.
She'd love to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing, and enjoy dirt.
When I run the lawnmower around, she would run behind me. When the boys run their bikes around, she, as fast as that little bike could go, she would be behind them running and keeping up with them, no problem. You know, she loved to run. She just loved to run, and she could pull herself up on that swing, her full body weight with her two hands, and she could do that. None of the other boys can do that, but she can.
Was she in school yet?
No,
No.
she's going this year.
This was supposed to be her first year of
She's been
kindergarten.
And this is kind of
Yeah.
where I think we kind of stopped last time, is that, you know, there was a lot of things going on in and around this. For the afternoon people, I just want to give you a little bit of background on what brought us to this video from the morning session, just in case you haven't watched it yet. I do recommend that you go back and watch this morning's segment, part 1 of this. But basically, you know, there was a lot of things going on the day before Summer went missing. Is the problem. It's the weird behavior Don was exhibiting the day before, 24 hours before Summer went missing. He was seen kind of slouched over in a tub in a very distraught, depressed type of position, just kind of slumped, you know, like with your back just kind of, I'm sure somebody can visualize a person in a tub in a construction home. So the tubs probably doesn't even have plumbing or doesn't have active water. I don't know if it does or not, but just slumped in a dry tub, you know, and just there fully clothed, grown ass man, just slumped over, you know, laying inside the tub, probably legs. I don't know if this is his position. I'd have to think it is, because, you know, nobody likes a spigot in their back. So I'd have to imagine that his feet are toward the spigot and the valves, and his back is kind of toward the back of the tub, kind of on the, you know, how it kind of like slouches up. And that's kind of how I see him. And apparently he was there in a very distraught, depressed position. He was not in a good place that morning. And by that afternoon, Dudley was fired from his job. The next day, it's alleged that Don Wells took his 2 boys to work with him, yet he denies it. And so also in that conversation, that night when he went home, 2 caseworkers came to his house, one being a supervisor. The supervisor was a female, and as they were leaving the home, the supervisor spoke to Summer all by herself for a few moments before they left. Don wasn't around. He just happened to see her speaking to her, but he didn't say anything else. And then the next day at 6:30, around 6:30 at night, is when the call came in that Summer was gone. Everything in this case has been weird. And every time you look at this case, everything comes back to this home. This home is on a huge mountain. The sides of the mountain go down at a very steep angle. There's no real good way up to their home except their driveway, and a normal car can't go up their driveway. It has to be an all-wheel drive, a V6 or higher, to get up their driveway, making it almost next to impossible for somebody to scale a mountain. And to add a little more confusion or problems to this weird dynamic, there's a creek. It's not a deep creek, but it drops down at least a foot or 2, and you have to come back up at least a foot or 2 to get out of it. It is pretty steep, and a person carrying somebody would have a very hard time navigating this. And then there's all this talk about this dog trail that could potentially be used. But when you look at the position or where that dog trail is, it's right next to Grandis's trailer. So tell me how the hell they were able to grab the kid and go past her trailer undetected, when we definitely know she was in her trailer. So it's very weird. So that in itself just doesn't bode with normal. It doesn't make sense. And then you get their behavior. This is their very first interview after their child was abducted, allegedly, because they're the ones saying abduction. Nobody else is. Even law enforcement came out, and for 3 years they have maintained that there is no evidence of this abduction that these people claim. Sorry, I got food in my mouth. And then you're seeing their behavior here. No emotion. She looks like she's under substances or coming off substances. They got rid of her. Yeah, before. I mean, there's just some weird behavior. That perspective has absolutely crossed my mind. And what made me stop this is because she was also supposed to be going to kindergarten. She never even made it to kindergarten. This child has barely seen a doctor, has had no real contact with anybody but these people and occasionally the church at the time. And then their behavior after she disappeared, Dawn Wells went back to work the very next day. When they were asked what their daughter's birthday was, neither one of them could tell anybody what Summer's birthday was. It was embarrassing. It was heartbreaking. But it let you know what kind of life she truly had. That's something they can't lie their way out of.
All the what?
I took care of everything.
Yeah.
I had her already taken all of her shots and registered in the school for ready for this year.
I just never expected for anyone to get a hold of my heart like she has, because I try to guard my heart as much as I can, but she holds my heart in her little hands, and I love her with all my heart. I'd do anything to have her back.
Your little girl.
If there's any way, if you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart. Have mercy.
Why would he say that? I don't. It's just. I don't know what to say about that. Let's listen to that again. Where are we? About 30 seconds. Let's listen.
And I love her with all my heart. I'd do anything to have her back.
That doesn't sound like a have her back, in my opinion. I might be overanalyzing this and making a mountain out of a molehill, which I try to, caution people not to do. But that face looks like he knows she's not coming back. I'm sorry. That's not I would do anything to have her back like she's gone and she is coming back from an abduction or anything like that. That looks like a man that knows she's not coming home. Again, in my opinion, I've maintained that from the beginning.
Your little girl.
If there's any way, if you can find it in your heart to please release her.
No emotion.
Somehow, I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life.
Why would any parent be
else,
talking about that?
But please find it.
Do you think that oh, God bless you, Robin. Thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you. Let me ask you, when you have a missing child, do you think it's a good thing to remind the abductor that they might go to prison for the rest of their life? Do you think you should be putting that in that abductor's mind? That would be one of the things that I would caution anybody from ever reminding. When I deal with this, we're accustomed to parents speaking to the person that may have taken their child. And they're told, speak to them and talk about your daughter. Use her name. Use her name. You never want to be reminding them that they're going to go to jail for the rest of their life, that what they're doing is you just want your daughter home. You want Summer. Our daughter Summer, she's 5 years old. She loves to be outside and play. Summer is such a sweet young girl. She just loved animals. Summer is an amazing person in our family. We really want Summer back. This is our daughter Summer. She is she's done kind, just something, I'm not in their position, but, They didn't bring any photos. They're not really talking about their daughter. They're not really trying to sway the person on the other end to give their child back. It's just, it's just, I don't know. It's not what I would. I mean, they're missing their daughter and they believe somebody has her. And this is their way of speaking to that person. And they're not speaking to that person. They're talking about their daughter in past tense. I want people to understand that 3 days after she disappeared, this is her parents' behavior and the words that they're saying.
In your heart, have mercy and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back, and just please have mercy on her, and and us and her brothers. And she's such a loving, good spirit. Please don't hurt her. Please let her come home. That she's my biggest fear is, her being tormented or.
And you've seen that. This is something that we paid attention to 2 years ago. Let me just go back to it for the new people that are new to this case. It's this look right here that Candace gave Don when he said, "We just want her back." I want you guys to watch it.
To get a hold of my heart like she has.
Sorry.
Because I try to guard my heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure.
Look at that. Look at that.
But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her, and
we're just picking up we're just picking up where we left off from this morning. Get some emotions. Yeah, I mean, he's taught no emotions.
And her brothers, and she's such a loving, good spirit. Please don't hurt her. Please let her come
That is
home.
not even that. Does that even sound like a father begging that person? I don't know. I just can't.
That she's my biggest fear is, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her, unfortunately, her downfall. Because a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now."
I love that. Why did the young kids leave this little girl outside? Why did the parents? Why did the parents? I don't know when this whole new phenomenon that the kids are more responsible for the younger kids than the parents are. Did you hear him talking about a dungeon? Did you ever see the Chris McDonough interview? Did you ever see the Summer Wells bedroom? It looks like a dungeon. And he's saying this with a straight face, not one tear, and Candace looking at him sideways. But hey, it's all in my head. Hey, okay. Maybe it is. Maybe it is all in my head. I don't know. I'll let the audience be the decider of this. Here we go. You guys tell me what you think about this. Look at her eyes. Look at her face. Don't look at Dawn anymore. Just look at Candace. Look at her face. And her face only.
Heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her, and and us and her brothers. And She's such a loving, good spirit.
Don't make me
Please,
look.
please don't hurt her.
Guys, you're cracking me up. Guys, I have to tell you guys this with all sincerity. We are a true crime channel. That means we have to look at despicable parents, unfortunately. No, but I don't know how much more we're going to be able to. This is why I hate going down Summer Wells stuff, because it frustrates me. It irritates me. It angers me, because there are so many people that think these parents had nothing to do with their daughter's disappearance. They totally justify their weird behavior. They totally justify the lack of concern. They totally justify the lack of activity, trying to get out there and put up flyers and search and get huge, large searches. Listen, I've dealt with families of missing people. Okay. Let me tell you the strategy of families that have missing people in them, because I've been through few of them. I'm one of a very few creators that actually go and put boots on the ground. I have been at searches for Paola Miranda Rosa. I have been at I did a search for Rollins, JJ Rollins, something like that, right? Thousands of people came out and searched. We've seen the searches organized by Brandy Neal. We've seen other people search. What was Cassie? Remember Cassie in the Panhandle? We went out there. Hundreds of people showed up for their search, their family organized search. I have been to so many family organized searches for missing children and missing adults. You know what I haven't been at? So far, I haven't been at a search that either one of these people or anybody that they knew had set up. As a matter of fact, they asked people to help. They asked for social media help. When we went out there, they didn't want us nosying around. It sounds to me like they wanted to look like they wanted to pull out all the stops to find their child. But when we started pulling out all the stops to find their child, they started playing games. They started playing games on social media. They started lying to the people. They started manipulating and collecting money on their own daughter. Yet none of that money that they collected, those thousands upon thousands of dollars, they refused to even pay their child support of $35 a month for their children. They're boys. Let's not forget them. They still exist. So how many people want to stand up in my chat and tell me how wonderful this man is? I'm waiting to hear now. Oh, by the way, I've got his many mug shots for over the last 40 years as well. So in case people want to say he changed his behavior, there is that as well.
Please let her come home. My biggest fear is, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her.
Yeah, Kimmy, but at this point, can we really say that? Candace could be broken if they attempted to really question her for hours and hours. But I get what you're saying, but I could understand that better if we didn't have a lot of parents that, it's not like children don't go missing, and this happened to be an outlier where this one child this one time went missing. We have children that go missing all over the country, and it's a sad phenomenon. And we know that some of these kids are killed by their parents. We know some of these kids we'll never see again. We will never know what happened to them, whether it's HT or otherwise. We will never know. And it had nothing to do with their parents. So we have a lot of different things, but out of all these things, parents are questioned heavily And some parents are, they have PTSD or something, because of it. I would have to think that going through something like this has to be horrific for anybody. I have to imagine that law enforcement tears your life upside down. Having a bunch of strangers in your personal business has got to be a very uncomfortable situation. But I have to think that every person that has a missing child has to go through this. And I don't see this kind of behavior except exhibited in certain types of parents. That's the problem I'm having, is we very rarely ever see this. And I'm not saying we never. I say we very rarely ever see this type of behavior in innocent parents, unfortunately. They have a track record. Parents that are guilty, this is, the behavior. That's when you do something like this, you don't know how to act because you don't know what the right way to act is. Do you act really angry? The problem is people overplay the crying, underplay the crying. It's just it's a nasty cycle because most people don't know how to act in a situation like this. The only way to act is in a situation like this is organically. This doesn't look like organic reactions to a child missing. Just a little fear. They have no fear, no concern, and no emotion. It's like nothing. It's like a void. I've never seen anything like this. But their behaviors are exactly like the Wesses. They didn't do anything to help with the searches or posting anything. They hid in their house like they did. Like the Laundries did, like every other freaking person that has done something terrible did. Hide. Colin. What was his name? Something Colin. The one with golly, I've had so many cases I can't even remember their names anymore. The one in Pasco County. Colin Knapp. That's it. Colin Knapp. He hid in his house. He threw her body 2 doors down on the outside of his house, wrapped up in these people act the same. These people act exactly the same. The ones that are guilty are pretty noticeable. And you know what? And it seems like everybody in true crime knows this, except when it comes to the Wells. I mean, there's a lot of people that get it. There's a lot of people that get it out there. I think what it is the ones that don't get it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating that they don't get it because it's so obvious. It's so obvious, at least to me. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't that obvious. I don't know. It's
Unfortunately,
obvious to me.
her downfall is a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now." And that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person.
She loved to be outside.
And I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything. And I'm afraid that she won't be able to, I'm locked away where she can't be outside or play with a puppy or anything, love nature, and that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of these things anymore, or that she could possibly, I don't want to think she's dead.
3 days. Is that right? Excuse me, not 3 days. This is 2 weeks. 2 weeks after she disappeared. 2 weeks after she disappeared. 2 weeks. He's already talking about her death. Every single interview up to this point, he has used past tense. So much so that in this interview, they had to ask him why he was using past tense so much.
But it's a possibility. I don't want to.
Not, look at that. Not even crying. The mother, the woman that gave birth to this child, listening to the father talk about her daughter possibly being gone. And that's her reaction.
I'll address all the negativity.
No red eyes, no tears coming out, no welling of the tears, no fighting back tears, no nothing, folks. Nothing.
I just want to focus on the positive
and find her
because
daughter.
it's so easy to get, lost in that negativity and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So I'm just, I appreciate y'all, the good things you say and your prayers. That's awesome.
When mom and sister come missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what
And I
happened.
just want you guys to hear this. It's going to be hard. I'm going to have to try to isolate. I don't know if I can, but I want you to hear what he says. Listen very close what he whispers to her. It's caught on the hot mic. I'm sorry.
Y'all, the good things you say.
I'm missing. I was
prayers. That's awesome.
What does it say?
When mom and sister come missing, I was in between Arkansas.
I can't hear what he says, but I know they isolated that.
I don't know.
And he said he whispered something to her, and I can't remember what he said, but it was something like they're watch. I can't remember what he said, but something like, remember, they're watching you, or something like that. Does anybody remember when they isolated that? Because I don't have that. This was done years ago. Again, this was right after this interview took place. He said her mother is watching. Oh, that's right. That's right. That is what he says. Her mother is watching. So she had to be careful what she said. Isn't that a little odd? Don't you think? Does anybody else find it odd that Grandis was at the disappearance of her sister and also at the disappearance of her daughter 10 years later? Grandis was in both places when two different people disappeared. Just throwing that out there. Two people in the same family, nonetheless.
Of what happened or what did happen. But I hope that they find her too and bring her home safely too.
Yeah, there's nothing. She disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything, haven't found a body, nothing.
Funny. Interesting choice of words, wouldn't you think? For another family member that just poof, it's gone. Interesting. Let's listen to that again.
Nothing. She disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything, haven't found a body, nothing.
Isn't that a little similar? Huh. Two people in this family. Two people in this family disappeared without a trace and without a body. Interesting. So it's not the first time.
And when you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer. I want to keep hope, but sometimes
you haven't had hope since day one, buddy. You haven't had hope since day one. Cut the shit. Cut the shit, Don. You haven't had hope since day one. You know how I know that? Because since day one, you've been referring to your daughter in the past tense. There is that. And you know what? Since day one, you haven't corrected that behavior. There is that. So now we have a little girl that had a father that had some weird behavior the day before, had a social worker visiting their house the day before. And within 24 hours of that those social workers visiting the house, we have a missing 5-year-old child that's been missing now almost 3 years. She's about to turn 8. Nobody has seen her. Out of all the kids that we have up here, 2 of them right now that disappeared around the same time haven't been found and haven't had justice. The difference between Michael Monkey Vaughn's case and Summer Wells' case is at some point they determined Michael Monkey Vaughn was deceased. When somebody is deceased, you can now have a death investigation. Homicide, murder, whatever you want to call it. But they had enough evidence to determine that Michael's no longer with us. Okay, that's one step closer to justice for him that Summer Wells does not have. Everybody keeps saying that if they did it, they would be in jail. Well, you can't be charged with murder until their daughter is classified as deceased. They obviously don't have enough evidence that says that right now. So that means that Summer most likely didn't leave bodily fluids. Okay, I'm going to say it like that because sometimes you can be deceased and not have a drop of blood. So we'll say bodily fluids. There must not be enough bodily fluids or enough type of the bodily fluids necessary to prove death. Usually the bodily fluid necessary in large quantities is blood. They can usually, if there's a lot of blood somewhere, they can determine that there's so much blood missing out of that person that that person could not survive. They can make a scientific determination that that person is dead. But say you have urine or some other type of bodily fluid other than blood, you can lose a lot of urine without being deceased, right? But one of the things that do happen when you pass away is that all your muscles stop. So all the muscles that hold, your waste, we have internal waste, and let go, and that kind of goes out. It happens. That's what happens. So even if she was deceased and those bodily fluids, like I said, the muscles let go and the waste was released, that's not enough to make that determination. And they're not going to be able to tell what kind of bottle, was that pre I'm not laughing like I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like nervous laugh, like pre-death or post-death. They're not going to be able to test your urine. At least I don't know. Guidance might be able to tell me. I don't think they can test your urine and find out if you were deceased when it's discharged or whether you were alive. Maybe there is a way. Maybe they haven't found it yet, but that would be kind of interesting. Is there a different type of antibody in your body or in your urine at death that's not there while you're living? That would be kind of interesting. Maybe that's the reason they got rid of the couch in the basement. You know what I always thought they got rid of that couch for? And I'm sorry, it sounds really morbid and creepy, but I thought that was how they might have been able to move her undetected. But then I had to think, well, if they move, it seems really weird because I didn't hear anybody moving a couch, but would they have been watched? They're on a mountain in a rural area. If he loaded up a couch in the middle of the night and took it somewhere, would they know? I don't know. And where was that couch? I mean, I'd like to know by law enforcement. I would have to think that night law enforcement was in and out of their home. Did they take pictures of the inside of their home that night? Did they take pictures of the room where they had to have. If she's a missing 5-year-old child, FBI was on scene. They had to have dusted the shit out of that room. So was the couch there or was it not? And if it was not there that night, there are cameras. There's only so many places that you can go. Again, that mountain, even for them, the people that live on that mountain, they just can't just go walking down it with a freaking couch, to get away from the cameras and whatever. It's hard. You can't just get up, and there's only really one good way on that mountain and one way off, and that's the driveway. Now, I do believe that somebody could go park down at that shed. I have not walked that way, and I'm not going to attempt to unless Don allows me on his property. just to look at it. I'm not looking for his daughter. I don't know where his daughter is, and um, even though he doesn't want people on his property for whatever reason, I don't believe she's there. I believe it's a Michael Vaughn situation, a Harmony Montgomery situation. I believe probably moved a couple times, to be honest with you, or more. I don't know. You know, people that are seasoned criminals, they're in jail and in prison with some of the worst of the worst. I'm sure they hear a little bit of a few tricks of the trade, you know? You're talking about Don Wells. Don Wells has been in and out of prison for over 40 years. For over 40 years. I have arrest records going all the way back to, like, what is it, 1983? 1983 or 1973? I can't remember. That's how long this man has been committing crimes, violent crimes, not just violent crimes, thefts, excuse me, thefts. He stole a car, but I think that was something to do with his family. I think there was a fight in the family or whatever, and he took his dad's car or something like that. He's written on stolen checks. Those are more of the nonviolent stuff. But he's had drug and violent crime problems for a significant amount of time. He likes hitting on women. He likes getting drunk and using them as punching bags. He does this stuff in front of his children. And usually the women in his life give it right back to him. My understanding is that him and Candace have had physical altercations with each other, both participating. And this has all been done in front of their children. This is not good. If you guys are fighting in front of your children, don't fight in front of your children. It screws your children up, okay? If nobody told you that, let me tell you that. It screws your children up. I don't care if you need to go have a man cave outside of the house that you guys argue in, if that needs to be, but don't argue in front of your kids, and don't talk crap about the kid's other parent. That's the kid can't help who the father or the mother of that child is. So, you know, all you're doing is destroying your own kid when you do shit like that. Trust me, a little piece of them die every time you're mean to their parent, because at the end of the day, children are innocent. They just love, right? Even if a parent is bad to them, they love their parent. So I just find it's better, you know, if the parent's really bad and you need to you know, explain that to them one day, make sure it's an appropriate time. A 5-year-old child's too young to know.
Oh,
Lose it.
and I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again, you know. Or so I start thinking in past tense. Sorry. But
So
I'm
you're
trying.
thinking, yeah, listen to snarkiness in his freaking voice. Listen to the snarkiness. I'm thinking I'll never see my daughter again, so I'm sorry if I refer to her in past tense. Jeez. This is the father. This is the father's behavior of a missing child. I just want to bring that to everybody's attention in case people forgot. I don't think my audience forgot. You know, I'm not being snarky with you guys. I'm being snarky to the rest of these animals here that believe this man had nothing to do with this. Just Bullhorn Betty and everybody else being mean to it. It's everybody else. It can't just be this family.
And I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again, you know. Or so I start thinking in past tense. Sorry. But I'm trying to keep hope up. I'm trying to keep my prayers up and all that.
I'm sorry. I don't recall having an interview of a parent of a young child acting like this. I mean, please, this is what I challenge people, okay? And this is in all fairness. Let's just do this. I don't want to be picking on channels because they have their belief. Everybody's entitled to their opinion based on the facts that they review, okay? But what I hate more than anything, and what really gets under my craw, is when people start supporting somebody like Don Wells by the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, which is what this man has collected by saying his own daughter's name. And now he doesn't even say it. He just collects the money. He doesn't even have to even say Summer's name anymore, right? So my biggest problem here with these other channels is I would never ever support somebody. Like I'm happy to support the cause, anything to do with the missing person, supplying flyers, anything like that. I would never, anything to help a missing person, I'm happy to do, right? But one thing I would never, ever, ever do is if there is one even slight, slim, sliver, scintilla of a possibility that a parent hurt a child, I would never give them one stinking dime of money until I knew for sure. I would never, ever, ever live with myself. I could never live with myself if I knew I gave somebody money that could do this to a child. So, you know what I do? I wait and find out whether or not they are responsible. When I went out here and I found out it's more likely than not that they are, there ain't no way in heck I would give this family one single dollar. Reward fund, happy to help, right? Happy to raise money on this channel. Happy to. Need flyers? Happy to help. Need banners? Happy to help. Need cash? Nope. Nope. That's the one thing I won't do. I will never fund a monster. And still after 3 years, this man hasn't been cleared. And when Summer is finally classified as deceased, sorry, my neighbor's calling me. Give me just a second. Finally, I just lost my train of thought, but you guys get what I'm saying. They're not doing anything they're supposed to be doing. They're collecting money on Summer Wells, and every penny that they have made, they couldn't pay their child support, nor could they even pay for one freaking flyer for their own freaking daughter. It makes me sick to my stomach. And people have funded these families, and it's time to remove the blinders from your eyes. In any other case, you would be saying they did it. Why are you running interference now? Any other time. All right, let me open up the phone lines. Ricky, I want you to if you guys could allow Ricky to call in. I just want to say hi to him. I haven't spoke to him in a really long time. And just want to hear from my friend, if you guys don't mind, just real quick. And then I'll open it up to everybody else if anybody else would like to call in. Ricky, the number here, let me get I don't even know my number, so you're going to have to wait until I get the meter. The number is 724-249-6140. I can remember my credit card number. I can remember my the long checking number, including my routing number. I can remember my social security number. I can remember my credit card number, but I can't remember my Bullhorn Betty channel number. I surely cannot. I'm going to start rattling off the numbers, and I'm like, we are on YouTube. I don't know if that's going to be a wise idea. I do like having a little bit of cash in that account, and I'm going on tour, and it's probably going to take the rest of it. I can't afford it, right? So, but I do. I'll just rattle it off. Oh, Tattoo Rebels up in the house. Big boy, it's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Ricky, if you're still in the house, give me a call at 724-249-6140. I hate how long it takes. It usually does. What is it? And you can't remember the braids. Well, if you know you have to understand the braids come later into the hair process. Okay. Anybody that has hair, well, some people wash it every day. I don't wash my hair every day. Okay. I got a little shower cap. I look really goofy, but I wait until my hair gets a little bit dirtier. I just got it washed, so it's still really poofy. I put the braids in it when the hair's starting to get close to almost ready for the wash. Oh, hold on. I got to put you over. This is Betty. I am doing swell as hell's bells. How are you?
I'm hanging in here. I've been sitting here. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been biting my fingernails.
Why have you
Listen to all this.
fingernails? What's got you all anxious?
Well, this stuff with Dawn and Summer,
I know.
and because I do love that little girl, though I don't know her. She's always in my heart. But Betty, I do want to bring this to your attention. I know I've said this before, and everybody's got the right to their own opinions, okay? And I want to say this, and everybody out here can believe whatever they want to believe, and I'm going to hope what I believe, and this is what I really strongly believe in my heart. You know, I've listened to Candace and Dawn. I remember when this first started, everything was going down.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing Dawn on Cher's channel, Ernie Shell, different ones, okay? Well, if you sit and listen, as you were talking about Dawn and them not crying or all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? That indicates to me that, and this is, like I say, this is my opinion. I believe in my heart, and I pray that God will show you, but I believe in my heart this kid is still alive. Where, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that without a shadow of a doubt. And there's other reasons that I feel this, and
you and I over the years have discussed those things, because I
know we have.
Yeah.
I know, but I can't express it enough.
Mm-hmm.
Summer Wells is not dead until they find her body or deceased, like you just said a while ago.
Yep, that's true.
You know, so really, your opinion is thinking that she is dead. My opinion is thinking she's alive.
Right.
Well, you know, if she was, honestly, if Candace and Dawn, I'm just going to say this, y'all, thought that Summer Wells was dead, there would be tears shed. Okay, there's not tears been shed that I'm aware of.
No, there has been no tears shed at all from them, at least publicly, except when Candace was challenged.
You got to think about. That's what you got to think about. I've talked to Candace and I've talked to Dawn, Betty.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be straight with you. Candace, I don't know how old she is, but Candace is, I don't say that. I don't want to say it not in a bad way. Okay. But Candace is, I don't know how old she is. Okay. How old is Candace? Do you know?
If I had to guess, I think she's under 40 for some reason. Maybe it's been 3 years. I think she was 38 when all this was happening. I don't know why I think that, but she might just be a little over 40 now for some reason. I don't know why I think that.
She don't act 40.
Mm-mm. No. She acts much younger.
Okay. So we need to recognize this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in touch with Candace. I've tried to call her several times. Then one day she did call me. She was crying her eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, Ricky, I'm sorry I haven't called you back. I wasn't ignoring you, whatever. And we talked. And I said, Candace, I got to be straight with you. I believe Summer's alive. She said, I do too. And I think when she told me that she does too, she's letting me know that Summer is alive.
So do you think...
This has been in the last 4 or 5 months, I'd say.
Do you think that Dawn, because the only person out there that I've ever known to ever say, I know where you can go in California to SALE, do you think he had a hand in that, or do you think it was somebody else? I mean, if you obviously have an opinion down this, you know what I'm saying? So do you think it was... How do you think it happened?
Well,
I guess is the question.
What I think happened. Well, I think somebody might have took Summer to protect Summer. Maybe I think that situation for the living conditions that she was in. Okay, and there was a lot of people running in and out their place.
Why not the boys though?
Well, that's a good. Well, because let's be honest about it.
They were older. That's
I got a son. I got a daughter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be more concerned about my daughter than I will be my son.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right. So
I mean, okay, so that's what I really feel. Now, I did send Candace $20 one time. my heart because I
Well,
God felt.
if you don't think she did it, I mean, I can't.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Betty, back up. I didn't
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that whatsoever.
Okay.
But let's think of this. Let's say let's say Candace. Let's say Summer is alive. Let's say this. What if she's with Rose Blythe somewhere?
What is she? What? Huh? What did you say?
What if she's with her aunt somewhere, living somewhere?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I think her aunt's gone because there's something going on with Rose Bly. I think there's something more nefarious there. But even though that Brandis was around, I think it had something to do with the ex. I really do. There's just something. There's something with Rose.
It's so strange how Candace's sister disappeared. Now Summer's disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real stranger part about the issue. And the thing about it is, YouTube went crazy with all of this,
Mm-hmm.
and was they're saying that YouTubers has messed up the investigation for Summer Wells with the law enforcement. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how that YouTube would have done that, because I don't know why. I mean, I know probably law enforcement's been listening in or whatever, but I don't see, people can have their opinions and go in all different directions. But as I think about that too, I don't see how that the YouTubers could mess up what the law enforcement does. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I understand how they can. And so whenever you get to a stopping point, I'll kind of explain a little bit of it.
Like, I listened to Chris Madonna. I don't know how familiar you are with him.
Yeah, I watched it, especially with this. We took a lot of, was able to review a lot of content, especially the one that went into the house. He was really good. He was actually out at Michael Monkey Vaughn as well.
Yeah, I know he was.
Mm-hmm.
I sure do, and I've been with that case too. I listened to Stacy, what he said. What his name? Stacy, that guy that.
Yes, Stacy Wandra. Mm-hmm.
Now, like him telling them that monkey was in the backyard. Now, why would he? I mean, I know it's changing that subject, but why would he say something like that?
I think he thought it was going to be good to save his butt, but either he didn't know that he was moved or something. There was something.
I say, do you think he was there?
Yeah.
The dogs did come up on it. Do you think he was there?
I do. I think if you really want, the only thing I have a problem with is organically, I would have never came across the Wandras, just like we would have never come across Brian Koberger organically. Had it not been for the arrest, we wouldn't have known. So that was my only apprehension. But once I started hearing Stacy's story, I understood exactly why law enforcement looked at him, period. There was no ifs, ands, or buts in my mind, even though, I'm going to keep a neutral position until there's enough information for me to not have the neutral position. But my personal opinion is that, even from Brandon, they were kind of on the right track, because Brandon's story was just odd too.
Right. Well, I'm sorry I got us off track in there, but
it's been a while. I'm just happy to hear your voice.
You know what I'm thinking? You know what I think? I think that, and I told Dolly this, and this is what I really think. This guy, Stacy, he probably knows about the Summer Wells case and what's going on with all that, and how they think that law enforcement got thrown off, and he's putting himself all over YouTube, trying to distract things, get that case all screwed up.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I told Dolly. Dolly said he didn't believe that, but I believe that.
Trust me, these people are starting to realize that the social media can run interference, and they're using social media to run interference.
And Betty, listen, honey, you can know somebody for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 30 years, and really not know the person like you might think you do.
Trust me, I just got schooled.
People need to realize that.
Yeah.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Oh yeah, trust me.
Like
I got a diploma over the last year in that school.
I bet. Just like the guy down who's that guy that killed all them ladies down? They found some of them on the beach or somewhere.
Oh yeah, Rex Uriman. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Go Beach.
So do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's my feel of that. But as I said, when I talked to Summer, when I talked to Candace rather, Candace did tell me that she had a serious voice and said that she believes that Summer's still alive.
I hope she's right. I hope you're right. I mean, trust me, there's nothing more. There's nothing that I don't think there's nothing any of us would love to see. I would love nothing more. You know what? Let me put this like this. I would love nothing more than to have to go shake Don's hand and apologize to him. I promise you that.
Betty, I know, honey, I know you. I know you're just telling your opinions like I'm telling mine, but
I would love to eat crow. This is the case I'd love to eat crow on.
By me not be able to see, I want you to understand something, okay? I can read a person, and I told Candace this when I talked to her on the phone. I said, Candace, I want you to know something, and I'm just go ahead and put it out here. I said, I can read people, though I can't see by their voices, like Candace, when she told me that she believes someone was alive, she was speaking that with sincerity.
Yeah.
In other words, like she knows. And I sensed on that, okay? So that's the reason I believe that Summer's alive. And, I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Your other senses, because you're lacking one sense, your other senses are a little more heightened.
Right. And so, and I did talk to Don one time.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you talked to Candace. That's the one person I have yet to speak to, but I don't think Don will ever let her talk.
No, they're not. She's not too fond of you, Betty.
I don't think she likes me too much.
She told me.
I know I'm a C and a B and every other alphabet.
Thank you for trying to help find her daughter. You know, that really she needs to look at that in. And then when they went out here and was on the Donna, what was that? When they flew out to California and been on that show, and she took the mic off and all that.
Yeah, Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
I think that was in Texas for some reason.
You think what?
I think Dr. Phil's in Texas for some reason.
Oh, no, I thought he was in California.
Yeah, either way. Yeah.
Well, it don't matter. But the thing about it is, all this don't add up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And some reason, the sheriff down in Hopkins County, that's corrupt. They're corrupt too.
Amen.
I feel that part. You know,
that's one thing I don't think either side. You know, like the pro well side versus the anti well side. I don't know how to the pro and the con of the wells. I think we can all agree. I think we are all in agreement that we believe Hawkins County, without a doubt, is corrupt.
Well, why do they not? They won't let EquiSearch come back. Why is that? Makes
you wonder. But you know what? Well, you don't need permission. I'm sorry. I don't ask law enforcement permission if they don't want to. They don't. I'm a citizen of the United States. They're not going to tell me where the hell I can go and what I can do. If I'm on public property, I'm on public property. I'll do whatever the hell I want to do, as long as it's not unlawful. I'm good. EquiSearch needs to they're probably going on other people's property. It'll just be a lot more difficult. That's probably what it is. They're just not going to be cooperative with EquiSearch. Is it Wells that won't be cooperative, or is it Hawkins County that won't let them back?
Right.
Ah.
I didn't know what happened to your other channel, and I just waited. I said, well,
the other channel's fine, but I didn't want to confuse the audience. I mean, we're here. You know, we're here. We're already established on this channel now, so it's like I might as well build this one up. I'm going to build this one up for, I don't know, another few months, and then I'll be back on my main channel.
Oh, okay. Okay. But hey, Betty, I am going to Florida.
I know.
We'll talk after the show or something. You can hit me up, and I'll let you know where I'm going to be. And if you want to come, and that would be awesome. But I mean, it's going to be a good distance away from you, though.
No, it's actually on February 2nd. I'm probably. What days are you going to be? Well, I'll talk to you. Let me get offline.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd love for you to come. because I want you to meet somebody.
Oh, I'm gonna find a way to meet if you're coming to Florida, because it's just hitting right at the time I'm on a tour, but I may just have to come back.
I'm gonna be there for 2. I'm gonna be there Friday night and Saturday night, come back Sunday.
Okay. Then I'll talk to you after this. I'll make a way to catch up with you somewhere.
Okay. But Betty, thank you so much for what you do, what you stand for. Don't worry about what people says. You keep doing what you're doing. But I do think that there's going to be arrests made soon with the Summer Wells case.
I hope. I pray to God. I hope, at the end of the day, I hope it's not Don and Candace. Like I said, this is the one case I'd love to eat crow on. I really would. I'd love to know nothing more than Don and Candace had nothing to do with this.
I feel sorry for them little boys. That's my heart's out to them because, I went to blind school for 11 years, so I really went home a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I didn't have the best life growing up too. We were poor, but my mother was, it don't matter what my mother done to me, whatever, what happened, never to get letters or stuff. That's okay. She was still my mother. She did the best of her ability. And who is perfect? That's all I want. That's
Amen.
all I want to say. Yes. You know what I mean?
You and I have the same talk when it comes to things like that, And
I'll be honest, it made me a stronger person, for the world, to be what I went through, like what, when I went to school and did that for 11 years and hardly got to come home. That made me a stronger person. And only thing I can cook, wash clothes, clean, do anything I want to do. I just can't drive.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But Betty, I do love you, and you're great, and you're wonderful.
When I get out there on that ranch, I'm going to get you in a field and teach you how to drive. Make sure there's no trees around.
Okay, so in other words, you let me drive your car, and you're going to tell me which way to go. Is that what you're telling me?
No, we're gonna do a Talladega night situation, except I don't have to put the blindfold on you.
Yeah. Hey, every date I've been on has been a blind date.
There you go, Ricky. Well, I
Betty,
look forward to seeing
so
you. One way. Now, let me ask you this: you're from Kentucky, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
See, I'm going to be coming out to Kentucky soon. So, if for any reason we do, just hear me out. I'm going to be up there on February 8th. So if all else fails, I'm still seeing you one way or another.
Okay. February 8th. And hey, I've been following this Crystal Rogers case, and man, that was a mess. That's a mess within itself.
Yep.
But anyway, I don't know, man. This is crazy. Hey, baby, I want to tell you real quick. There's a lady here. Her nephew's been missing down around Woburn, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last place he's been seen, and which she's in Pennsylvania right now. And the law called her a couple of days ago, and they turned into a cold case. They cannot find him at all. And he had altercation with a guy. They got into it. He was the last one to see him, and that guy that he had the problems with was gone for a week, and then until they finally came back and they found him, whatever. But this guy has never ever been found, and
the person he was with him disappeared for a week.
Yeah, the one he got into it with.
Mm-mm.
But I didn't know if it'd be something that you'd like to talk to her or something, or
if I'm going to be in Kentucky, I've been. That's one of the things. That's why I started doing tours. I finally found, instead of if I can catch, a case or two while I'm out versus just one, the cost effectiveness is so much better. So I've been trying to do like tours.
I can't promise you nothing, but I don't know what you could do to help her because I don't know.
Do you know the name of her son? What's the name of her son?
No, it's her nephew.
Or, her nephew.
He told me, but I tell you what, there's so much going on, I don't remember, and I apologize for that.
Okay, no worries. But maybe when you think of it, or if you speak to her again, just send me an email and let me know what the name is, and I'll do some research and see if it's something I can help with. That's all I can really do.
Oh man, this world is one more.
I know.
It's dangerous anywhere you go. Like Florida, I'll probably be going to Florida by myself.
Yeah. Well,
But
Florida's chilling. I mean, there's certain areas that aren't really cool, but I doubt you'll be in those areas. They're really bad. If and walking through, driving through them during the day is not a bad thing. It's just night.
well, I'm gonna be flying down because the plane ticket down there and back's only $67.
Nice.
I couldn't believe that.
Nice.
That's cheap. But anyway, Betty, we'll talk soon. Thanks for letting me come up. God bless you. I love you, and I believe in you, and God believes in you.
Oh, thank you, Ricky. Before you leave, I got to get a blessing from Ricky. Those that would like to bow their head, I'm putting Ricky on the spot, and I'm asking him to bless us and bless this channel.
Father God, I come to you in the name of Jesus, Lord. I come with power and authority, Lord, that all the great things I've read about you done in the Bible, and you can do it the same thing today. And Lord, I just pray that you'll keep your hands on each and every one that's hearing this prayer here, Father God, and Vaughn and Betty. You put your love and hedges all around us, Father God, protect us. And Lord, if there's someone here that needs a touch from you, I pray that you'll stretch down your hands from heaven and just touch them right now and fill them with your Holy Spirit in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate
that.
You're
welcome.
I'll be getting a hold of you. Just give me, I don't know, about an hour or so, and then we'll be chatting.
Okay, that'd be fine, Betty.
All right, honey.
Right. Thank you.
You're
God
welcome.
bless everybody else here.
I'm getting excited because now I know I'm gonna be seeing Ricky. Holy crap!
Hey, Betty, I do want to tell you I do got a video, "Make America Great Again." It's on my Facebook page.
I wish I could play it, but every time I gotta have you live.
No, I don't. You don't got to play it. Just go to my Facebook page there, okay, and then look on my Facebook page. You just see the video I did, and then these people got in touch with me. They want to redo the video, make it where it's more everything's right on everything. And I don't know how true. They're telling me that when they get done, this video will go viral, and they're going to work it.
Nice.
And because our goal is for doing the right thing for America, you and me. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm about. I'm not into politics. I'm just for what is right, what needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all I want to say. I'm not a politician. I'm just in for what God laid on my heart to do. God gave me that song for a reason.
Yeah.
But you can go to my Facebook page, Ricky Beavers.
Hold on, let me just do this right now while you're on the phone, so I don't forget to do it. Because I'll drop the link for other people to go there. Give me just a second.
Okay. And my friend, he put me on True Social, and it's really starting to really blow up on True Social. Mm-hmm. But they're wanting to do something different with the video, and they're saying it's going to be more. The guy that did it did a hell of a job, okay? Mm-hmm. But they're wanting to do different images and stuff, and just different things to make it a lot better. Because they promised me that it would go viral, and I don't know nothing about this, but and they're. I don't know. I don't know why they would lie to me. They told me they're going to work this, not charge me anything. They're going to make it. They're going to make it work and make it happen. How about that?
Nice. You know what, Ricky? So, you're very good at what you do, and I love your music. I've got to tell you, when you came up here, even your guitar and just you do amazing. You do amazing.
Well,
when I heard you were doing so great out here on Spotify and other places, I was very proud of you, and I just want to tell you.
And I've been told how beautiful you are too, Betty. Don't blush or nothing, but I've been told. So there you go.
I'm blushing.
Hey, I'm not looking though, but okay. But yes, on my Facebook page, you can check it out. I'm also on True Social, music _star_ Ricky. I was gave that through Cash App because I got a Cash App card, and when my card came back, that was on my Cash App card, and it kind of blew my mind. I don't know how they even gave me that, but anyway, that's kind of weird how that took place. But
yep.
Anyway, yep. Betty, thank you so much for having me up here.
You are so welcome. Come back anytime, Ricky. You're part of the family.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. So I just dropped the link for Ricky. I know somebody was just calling in. I'm so sorry. If you want to call back in, please do. I just wanted to wrap up with him. I didn't want to. It's been a long time since we spoke to Ricky. That was so. This is Betty.
Good afternoon, Betty. Thank you for taking my call.
Hi, how are you and who is this?
I'm just fine. I'm just taking it all in and trying to think logically about things that I have heard from Donald Wells himself. This
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say this is allegedly because this is what I heard on a shorts. You know, when they have shorts on Josh's channel. I heard,
The lab.
yeah, it's a short, and Donald's actually talking, and he's talking about Summer, how mature she is, and she was cute when she was a baby, but now she'll take your breath away. And I just believe that Candace also knows more. And that call when she called and said someone's trying to hurt Summer, and you know that call.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're talking about the 911 call. It was a 911 call about Dawn to get law enforcement. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the short that I'm talking about is very interesting because it's actually Don talking and telling about how I think the capture is how Don feels, or Don talks about his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was back a while, couple months maybe, but it's very interesting. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. And bless your heart, and thank you for your channel.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate your input. And yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in this case. And no doubt, I believe there's going to be more weird stuff that's going to come out before, there's any arrest. But I do hope somebody is held accountable for this young girl's disappearance.
Is there any way you can bring it up, or would Josh have to do that?
Let me see. I don't think I'm not really too worried about the lab. He doesn't sound like he's like a jerk or anything. Let me just see what they've got. Let me see here, the lab. And no, I won't be able to bring it up while you're on the phone because of it'll cut you off and then it'll show you.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll hang up for now.
Well, let me try. I'm trying to find this right now. Don Wells admits Candace may know more. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Let me check this out. Oh, she's still on the phone? Oh, there you are. Yeah, let me go. I've got it pulled up now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye-bye. All right. So what we'll do on this one is I will just play it in the background. That's, I guess, the easiest way to do it. I guess is how we'll play this. Keep everybody in good graces, right? Keep everybody honest.
Yeah, Don's ulcer is going to flare up tonight.
I wish I could show you her broken heart, but I can't. There's no way I can show you that. How devastated she is.
Well, she could look. She could still have a broken heart, and something happened.
That's a possibility, I guess.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, now that good luck unringing that bell, because it is a possibility. Not only is it a possibility, it's a high probability that Candace somehow, some way, somewhere lied to you. Yeah, Don's ulcer is going to flare up tonight.
Okay, I think that's what she was talking. Hopefully that's what you were talking about, honey. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. I might have got the wrong clip. But I'm hoping. I know she was a sweet caller, wasn't she? Cute as a button. I love it. Hopefully that's it. But this was Josh kind of asking him a question. He's like, "No, my wife is too broke up." Well, couldn't both be possible? Couldn't she be responsible for something and still be upset about it? And Don conceded. But I have to say, hearing Don on the lab, I do like the fact that he's on the lab and not on all these awful channels all the time. The lab, in my opinion, is not a garbage channel. Okay. Whether I agree with the stuff that comes out of his mouth or don't or do or whatever may be, I don't consider the lab's channel a garbage channel, a roach channel, or anything like that. I think he is absolutely a legit channel that does legit work and has a great reputation, as well as interviewing. I mean, he's good at interviewing, and he's not this sweet person that wants to be somebody's friend. I like that. I like that. Everybody out here thinks that they have to be these people's friends in order to get information. I will never subject myself to that. You're either going to give me the information because you want to give me the information, but I'm not going to sit here and have to be somebody I'm not to get it. You know, maybe that's a bad part in me. Maybe that's just a stubborn part in me. You know, you get more flies with honey than you do with salt. You know, I get it. Or vinegar. I know people use vinegar, but I want to say salt, right? So but I have a problem doing it. I don't know if I can lower myself to do it. Can I be nice to somebody? Yes, I can be nice and respectful to them, but I don't ever want them thinking I am their friend. You know, I'm not their friend. I'm interviewing them. Can that be friendly? They're all friendly. But I definitely don't want somebody that I perceive as somebody that did some terrible things. Even like Ricky said, even if let's just say, for instance, that, you know, this isn't the case and I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, first and foremost. I do hope I'm wrong. But, you know, if for any reason that this is kind of an HT or ST type of situation, and she's still alive, or, you know, like Ricky said, that maybe somebody just felt really, really bad for her and wanted to give her a better life. We always believe that in just about every case, right? Even Michael Monkey Vaughn, that be the case. But I don't know. I do like the lab. I like their interview. I got lost track of what I was going to say. I think it's probably because we've been going now for 2 hours. So I'm out of here, guys. I'm out of here, folks. It's been great. We had a great conversation. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're going to continue this conversation, if there's more meat on this bone, or if we're going to be talking about something else. We are getting close to when I'm leaving. We've got a huge stack of papers here to still go over related to Alec Murdaugh's new court hearings that are coming up. Yes, that's a lot of papers. This is all Alec Murdaugh. This is all related to this motion for new trial right there. That's everything. This big stack of paperwork is everything that's going to be going over for Alec Murdaugh. So, you know, we need at some point to kind of go over this. I definitely need to read it because this is what we're going to be discussing when we're out in front of that courthouse, right? You know those things where you guys see me talk for hours and hours and hours and I have to make sense? It's because I read crap like this, you know, like this is 2 inches thick. 2 inches thick paperwork. All Alec Murdaugh, all court documents. Now you know why you guys pay me. I don't see any of you guys taking off work to read that. No. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I got to get back to work. I got some deadlines that I've got to be prepared for. We're almost to the finish line with this newest deadline. And hopefully, I think that's about it. I don't really have a whole lot more to say. And I just want to thank everybody that came in here twice today to talk about Summer Wells and Michael Monkey Vaughn. I hope you learned something new. I hope you realize that there is a pattern of behavior that is exhibited by people that are responsible or have guilty knowledge of something that happened. And you see it over and over again from case to case when you have a parent or parents that, in my opinion, are responsible for the disappearance of their child. You know, on that flip side of that, we had like Ricky Beavers on here, which I love. You know, we just don't agree. We agree to disagree on this. He's had the same position. I think literally from out the gate. I think because he's been talking about about as long as me. I mean, to be honest with you, I think him and I have been talking about Yeah, for a while. Ricky, it's been a while. So the way he gets information and the way I get information, and process that information is a little differently. We're all getting, it seemed like when we were just talking to Ricky that we were all getting the same cues, like this doesn't make sense. It's just that it equates to something different for him than it does for me. It might be a right brain, left brain issue, that there is differences in the way we think based upon certain traits. We do have where people utilize predominantly the right side of the brain, and people, I don't know which one I haven't put that much research in it. I'm just telling you what I heard over here. Okay. I heard it for a really long time, like ever since I was this big, right? There's a left side of the brain that does this stuff, and there's a right side of the brain that does this stuff. And some people that are more creative use this side of the brain, and the ones that are more analytical use this side of the brain. But I don't know which one, if it's the right or the left side. Which one's the more creative one? Is it the right side of the brain or is it the left side of the brain? I don't know over here, okay? I don't know over here. I am not smarter than a 5th grader today. All right, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be kind and safe to one another, especially in the comment box below. God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.